So tell me, did you give yourself permission to feel pleasure? Hi, I'm Dr. Verna Brown with Pneumacor, and welcome back to Conscious Sexuality. Last week we talked about the importance of pleasure and how you can give yourself permission to have pleasure in your life and in your sexuality. We ended the episode with the exercise of I deserve. Hopefully you had time to do that for your homework. If you didn't, you can go back to the last video and see what you think. Today, we're going to talk about embodiment and the importance of that in order to actually feel that pleasure that you gave permission for yourself to have. You see, we touched about this last time. We're so busy. We got to pick up our kids from school. We got to answer the emails. We have that last task we've got to do, right? Check off that checklist. Do. And we are so cerebral in all our different tasks. We live in our mind all the time. And it's so easy to go in our brain and really disconnect from what's happening to our body. And the other thing that happens sometimes is that life is so stressful, either just because of every day or because of things that have happened in our past, such as trauma. And we're going to get into trauma in a different episode in a lot more depth. That because of those things, it's easy to numb ourselves to the feelings in our body because at some point, life can just be a little bit painful. But the problem is when we're either too busy to feel and to pay attention, or when we're numbing ourselves because things are too stressful or painful, we're numbing ourselves to pleasure too. So how do we actually get back into embodiment? How do we actually stop treating our bodies as a machine that's just there to do tasks for us? And actually remember, that is part of, like we say at Pneumacor, our whole human anatomy, part of our integrated core. It's one thing to take care of our body with, as we know, the movement, the rest, the nutrition, and that's great. But it's not a separate entity from us. Right? We've got to reintegrate it back, and we've got to listen to its wisdom. So how do we do that? How do we connect our head back to our body? We have to be intentional, and we have to have some mindfulness. A little bit easier said than done, and it does take some time. It does take a little bit of exercising it, but we can do it. So with this particular episode, I'm going to need you to get your journal back because we're going to do some somatic more of exercises here. And I'm going to need you to take some notes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you two different photographs. And for each photograph, I'm going to narrate some things that I want you to jot down as you look at each different image. And I really want you to look at and put down anything that comes into your head about the particular image. And then after you're done with each image and what you've written down, I want you to go back and reflect on what you wrote. And reflect on the different sorts of feelings that you had all over your body about each different photograph and what those meant for you sensually. This particular exercise is meant to ignite your 5 senses. So touch, hearing, taste, feeling, and seeing. Because that's what sensuality is. We have to remember that sensuality is not necessarily sexual, but sexuality certainly does involve all of the five senses. So in order to ignite that erotic feeling within yourself, in order to truly feel that pleasure within yourself, whether you're just with yourself in a moment of self-pleasure and self-enjoyment, or with a partner, you really want to retrain yourself to be intentional and mindful in honoring what your body is saying, in honoring your pleasure. So we have to retrain ourselves to listen to our bodies and what our body is feeling and what our body is saying. And that is because we want to know whether what we're experiencing is a true yes. Yes, this feels great. Whether it's a no, this does not feel great. Whether it's like, a little more to the left, right? And if we're absent and we're thinking about like, oh my God, I need to switch the laundry over to the dryer while we're in a sexual context, we're not going to be feeling those things. So intentionally retraining ourselves to get back in touch with our senses. That's an important exercise. And here's the thing. We're talking about conscious sexuality here, but by retraining our senses in a non-sexual way, even for sexual purposes, because this is the series, you can also walk around your day and look at the beautiful trees and listen to these beautiful birds and be in a completely different place. Because sensuality, like we said, is not just about sex. So here we go. Grab your piece of paper, grab your pencil or pen, and let's get started with the first photograph. For this image, first, ground yourself. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel the ground underneath your feet and fix your gaze upon the photograph in front of you. Look at what you see, but don't just look with your eyes. Can you feel the image? What can you feel? What's the texture? Is it hot or cold? Is it soft? Is it hard? Does it move? Is it still? Is it rough? Soft? Does it taste like anything? What happens when you think about taste and this image? Does anything come to mind? Any memories? Any dreams? Sweetness, bitterness? What do you hear? Is there music? Wind? Do you hear silence? Are there people there? Are you alone? Do you remember? And where do you feel? Where do you feel in your body, the music or the wind or the voices. Where do you taste in your body? Where do you feel on your body? And what do you see? You see the photograph, but what is there that you notice? The fine details, the colors, the coolness or the warmth. Do you see a memory in your mind's eye? Do you see anything associated with the photograph from the past or for the future that you have in mind? And with all of these senses, does it ignite any sensations in your body? Does it make you want to move in any way? Have you felt your body shift in any way? Have you felt any emotion come up for you? And if so, where does that emotion come from within your body? Go ahead and go to that place. Maybe touch it with your hand. Is it in your chest? Is it in your abdomen? Is it in your shoulders? Just follow the sensation. And continue along, searching through your senses. As you look at this image, do you smell anything? Does it make you remember anything that you have smelt before? And where does that sense of smell live in your body? Right? It's not necessarily going to be in your nose. Follow that. Follow that sensation. Take your time. Write down what your thoughts are, what your memories are, what your sensations are, and what associated emotions might arise for you. And then reflect. now that you've seen the images, I would love you to share with me what you thought and what came up for you. Because what you may find is that they weren't just senses. They may have been actual emotions and actual memories, whether pleasant or not. And what you may have found is that you felt them in your body. I would love for you to share them with me. You're welcome to email me. My contact information will be at the bottom of this video. And this is really important to realize. It's really important to realize that your memories aren't just made of thoughts in your head. Your memories are made up of sensations in your body. They're made up of taste. They're made up of smell, hearing, touch. You see something and it's just not a 2D representation of that thing. You like feel that stuff in your body when you remember things. And it equates with a judgment sometimes. There was one woman who shared with me that when she saw the wooden spoon, she felt her shoulders hunch over and she felt heavy. And what she remembered was discipline from her family because they used to use a wooden spoon, and she felt shame. Another woman shared with me that she equated the spoon with happiness because she remembered her grandmother cooking. Two completely separate emotions and feelings from the same object. This is how this works. If you think about those things and those sensations and how your body speaks to you just by sight, think about how that applies to the judgments of, like, for example, when you look in the mirror, and that how applies to how your body speaks to you through your sexuality. We're going to get into so much more about this in the series as we go along. But I really hope that you were able to start getting into touch and start realizing that it's so important to notice what's happening inside your body and really pause and start realigning and listening with not just right here, but here and here and here and everything else. Because it's all important, it's all information, and it all counts. So we have I'll take that back. We do have homework. Homework this time is I want you to live your life for the next week intentionally looking at your world and picking out your 5 senses. Don't just walk by the tree. Really notice the tree. Try to work through your 5 senses on the tree. Really notice the bench. Really notice whatever it is. Be intentional about the things in your life. See what changes for you. See how it opens things up for you. Do this until next time. Feel free to reach out to me. It'll be wonderful to know what you're experiencing.